Hi everyone, welcome to another interesting tutorial. I'm Dami of 𝐓𝐻𝐂𝐇. Today we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful halter neck dress inspired by Veekee James. In our last class, we were able to draft out the pattern, so today we'll be cutting on the fabrics and we'll be sewing. So I made the red one that is being displayed on the screen. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us today. If you are here to subscribe, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime we have a new tutorial. For our returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. If you want to join my WhatsApp group, the link will be in the description box. So thank you for joining us today, and let's get started. Okay, so in our last class we were able to draft out this pattern. So if we miss the class, I'm going to be putting the link in the comment section. So this is the patterns we'll be using for the cutting. This is the front upper part and this is the back. So we are going to be keeping these upper parts aside now, then we'll focus on the flare for now. So these are the 4 pieces of the flare that I'll be having: one for the side, I have 2 for the side, 1 for the center front and 1 for the center back. They are all the same size, so I'm only going to be picking one out of them, which I'll be using to cut out the flare part also. So this is the fabric that I will be using for this class. This is about 3 yards of fabric, so I'll be using this one to cut out the flare part first. So to cut out the flare now, how do we fold the fabric? So I'm going to be folding the fabric across the yardage like this. So I folded, since it's a 3 yards fabric, so I folded the fabric into 2. Don't mind this joining that I have at the middle here. So I'll fold the fabric into 2 like this. So I will take this edge now. I will take this edge to the other side like this to fold it in a bias form. So it's going to come like this. So alright, so this is what I get after folding it on the bias form. So I have fold of 4, 1, 2, and this one is on 4, so I have 4 layers here. So I'm going to be using this to cut out the 4 pieces, the 4 flare that we have. So if you want your flare to be more fuller than this, you can just fold it into 4 like this, then use it to cut 2, then you have to fold another one to cut. So that one you'll be needing like 5 years to be able to achieve that. But since we are using a 3 yards of fabric now, this is how we are going to be folding it. So on this edge here now, this is the flare we are going to be using. This is what we are going to be using to cut the flare. So I'm going to be measuring here. So here I have about 3.25 inches. So you multiply it into 2, you get 6.5. So I'm going to be adding 1 inch extra for the size joining allowance. So that is 7.5, right? So I'll come to my flare here. I will measure wherever I can get 7.5 inches. So I have it here like this. So I'm going to be marking it to get the full radius. So from the edge, I'll mark it to get a full circle like this. Okay, so this is where it will be starting from. So from this here now, I'm going to be placing this side also like this. So I'll put it in the middle, whatever we have at the middle, 7.5. So we have this here. So I'm going to be placing this on the middle line like this and mark it out. So I'll mark out. So I'll place it, let me spin it down. Hope you're able to see. Sorry, I'm the only one here, so there's nobody to hold the camera for me. So with this now, this is the length of the gown, so I'll just add ½ inch for the folding on the hem, for the weaving of the hem. So I will add this like this. So I'm going to be measuring it so I'll measure it from this part that I marked here to get the full length. So I'll have the full curve on the hemline. So I will mark it, measure it like this. Whatever I have here, this is 38 inches, so I'll take it down to measure everything. So I can go ahead to cut out the full length. Alright, so this is what we have here now. So on this side, I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch for the joining like this. So I will add 1/2 inch like this. So this is going to be for one part. So once I'm done adding the allowance here. So I will unpin it from the center again. I will flip it to the other side. What I'm trying to do is to get this curve shape on both sides. I'm trying to get this curve shape on both sides. So I will pin it down again. And add the 1/2 inch allowance again. Alright, so now that we have this, you can go ahead to cut it out. And don't forget, I explained that we are using this for the 4 piece of this one. We know we have 4 of this. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be splitting it. So we have the 4. So we'll open this one on the side. Alright, so this is what the flare on the side, on the center front, this is what we are going to be fixing there. So you just fold it into 2 to get the center so that we can notch it. So I'll notch the center like this. So with this now, we can keep this aside and go on with the cutting of the upper part. So I've gone ahead to cut out the upper bodice now. So this is the front. The center front is on 4. Don't forget that I cut through the darts for the center for the front. So I have this now. So I'll go ahead and join each of the piece together. So I'll join the front piece together. For the back is just one piece. So I've cut out the darts and I've marked it out. So I'm going to be sewing the darts in. So after doing the darts and joining the front together, I will join them together on the side, and I will use bias to turn the armhole area. So I added 1.5 for allowance for the side and 1 inch for the back zip. But my zip is not going to be starting from up, so I kind of make a keyhole around this place. So it should be starting from this part here to the damper. So this is what I have for the back part. So I'll go and join all of them together. So I've joined all of the piece together and I turned this armhole with bias, and also the back I fixed the zip. I turned this keyhole at the back because I don't want my zip to start at the edge here. So I've turned everything, I've joined it on the side. So this is what the upper part is looking like. So as we proceed now, next thing we are going to be doing is to fixing of the collar. When I was doing the drafting, I did not remember to cut out the collar. So it was when I was editing later that I remember that I did not cut out the collar. So we'll be cutting out the collar now. In our pattern yesterday, we measured the neckline. We have for the back 3.5 and we have for the front 4.75. So if you add these two together, you get 8.25. Then you multiply it by 2. That will give us 16.5. So to cut out our collar now, I'm cutting it like this. So for me to know the radius, so I'm going to do that 16.5 plus your allowance. So you had for the turning of the edge, so maybe you had like 1 inch allowance, so it will give you 17.5. so you divide it by 3.142. so to get it now, so this one is going to give us 5.5 as our radius. So now we'll grab another pattern paper. Now I will fold it into 2. So I will mark out the radius 5.5 that we have here. So I have the 5.5 here. So this part is where it's going to be attached to the neckline. So to know the height of the collar now, it all depends on you. You can go for 2 inches, you can go for 1.5, but I'm going for 1.5. So I'll mark 1.5 around like this. Okay, so this is what the collar is going to be looking like. So now to do it now, you know you are going to be joining into the neckline, so you just go ahead and add your 0.5 inch allowance all round. This is for the connection to the neckline. And also here for the turning of the neck, so you had your 0.5 allowance also. Okay, so to cut out the collar now. All right, so this is what we have now for the collar. This is what is going round to the back of the neck. Using this method to cut out collar has really helped, so it makes the neck to relax very well and not to make this upper part to be too wide. Sometimes you see some collars that are to be too wide, so if you use this method, it's always perfect. So I'll go ahead now to cut this one on the fabric. I will cut 2 of this. I will use it to turn each other at the hem here, so I'm going to interface it and I will show you what it looks like. All right, so this is the collar now. I cut it in 2 pieces, and the neckline I've turned it, and also on the side like this I've turned it. So this is the part to be fixing to the main body. So now you take your front bodies like this on the neck, you fold it into 2, you notch the center. So you place this on it like this. You also notch the center of this. So the center, the notch area is going to be on each other. So you pin this one down. Alright, so you have this here like this. Then you also come, so after you have fixed the front like this, you have pinned it down like this for the front. So you come to the back side like this. So this edge is what is going to come on the center back like this. So you make the right side facing the right side. Then you also pin one side of the collar. It's only one side we are sewing first. You also pin that one side together. You also pin that one side together. So you sew this first, you sew it for the front also, and for the other side. Okay, I've pinned the other side down. You sew for the other side also. So once you are done sewing like this, you know, this is how it's going to be like. We still have some rough edges here. So the rough edges now, you are now going to be pleating it, the 0.5 inch allowance. Then you pleat it and stitch all these parts also, the parts that is not on anything. You close it up also, and you stitch it. So you stitch it around the neck. All right, so after fixing the collar, this is what is looking like. So this is what goes around the neck. So at the back here, I'm going to be fixing a button to hold it in place together like this. So the last thing we'll be doing for our dress is to fixing the flare. So don't forget that we notched it in the front. So you also go ahead, fold this into 2 and get the center. So you place it right side facing the right side like this. You place it on this, then you sew it down to where this one stops, and you sew the other side. So you take one also, you put it at the side, and one at the other side, and also one at the back. All right, so this is what it's looking like after joining the flare piece to each of the, this is the front, this is the side, and it's looking very beautiful. So like I was explaining when we are cutting, if you want yours to be fuller than this, it's going to be the folding. The one we used to cut 4 pieces, you are going to use it to cut just 2 pieces of the flare. So you have to fold your fabric another time to cut extra 2 o'clock. So what is remaining here is just to weave the inside and also the hemline. So thank you for joining us in our class today. I hope you're able to learn something new. We'll see you in the next class.